Salivary gland neoplasms. Let's see about the malignant tumors of the salivary gland. The main malignant tumor of salivary gland is mucoepidermoid carcinoma. This is the most common primary malignant tumor of the salivary glands. About 50% of all the salivary gland tumors. 60 to 70% it occurs in the parotid gland. This is the most common location. Coming to the etiology, here there is translocation of chromosome 11-19 producing fusion transcript CRTC1 and MAML2. This is the fusion gene produced due to translocation. So this leads to the activation of Notch pathway and thereby producing the malignant tumor. Next is morphology of mucoepidermoid carcinoma. Grossly, it can grow as large as 8 cm. It appears circumscribed, but it has no well-defined capsule as it is malignant, and often it infiltrates at its margins. The cut section appears pale and grey-white, and it frequently contains small mucin-containing cysts. Microscopy of mucoepidermoid carcinoma. It has variable mixtures of squamous cells, mucus secreting cells and intermediate cells which have the features of both squamous and mucus cells. So the intermediate cells have squamous features with small to large mucus vacuoles. The tumor cells are arranged in cords, sheaths or cystic structures. Let's see the grading of mucoepidermoid carcinoma. It can either be low grade, intermediate grade or high grade. The clinical features and the prognosis depends on the grade of neoplasm. So the grade has good prognosis whereas the high grade has the poor prognosis. The next malignant tumor of salivary gland is adenoid cystic carcinoma, which is relatively uncommon. About 50% it occurs in the minor salivary gland, especially the palatine glands, which is the most common location of adenoid cystic carcinoma. Morphology of adenoid cystic carcinoma. Grossly, it appears as a small, poorly encapsulated, infiltrative, grey-pink lesion. Microscopy. There are small cells which are having dark, compact nuclei with scant cytoplasm. The cells are disposed in tubular, solid or cribriform patterns, and the spaces between the tumor cells are filled with hyaline material which is thought to represent excess basement membrane. So this is the morphology of adenoid cystic carcinoma. Coming to the clinical features, it is slow growing and it is unpredictable tumor, and it has a tendency to invade the perineural spaces. So it can spread through perineural spread. 50% or more disseminate widely to distant sites like bone, liver and brain, and this adenoid cystic carcinoma has poorer prognosis. The next malignant tumor of salivary gland is acinic cell carcinoma. As the name suggests, it is composed of cells which resemble the normal serous acinar cells of the salivary glands. This is relatively uncommon and it accounts for 2 to 3% of the salivary gland tumors. Most common location is the parotid gland, and it can occur rarely in the minor salivary glands. Sometimes it can be bilateral or multicentric. So they appear as small, discrete lesions that may appear encapsulated, but they are not actually encapsulated, they appear encapsulated. Histology, it consists of variable architecture and cell morphology. The cells have clear cytoplasm, sometimes solid and other times vacuolated. So this clear cytoplasm can sometimes be solid or sometimes vacuolated. The tumor cells are disposed in sheaths, glands, follicular or papillary patterns. There is usually little anaplasia and few mitosis. The recurrence after resection is uncommon in actinic cell carcinoma, and about 10 to 15% metastasize to the lymph nodes. So these are about the malignant tumors of salivary gland. The most important is mucoepidermoid carcinoma. The other two rare malignant tumors of salivary gland are adenoid cystic carcinoma and actinic cell carcinoma. You have seen about the benign tumors of salivary gland in our previous video. Thank you.